everyone, good morning to you all, hope you're all well. Welcome back to Louise Plus 10 and we're on tip of the week, Saturday. And I think this is about the fourth one, isn't it? I'm sure it is the fourth one. Anyway, regardless, I really hope you've been enjoying the tip of the week videos. I hope you may have picked something up from it and something may have made you feel a lot better. Anyway, so this week's a bit different. I want to share with you 5 tips that lead to a cleaner home. Now, these are tips that I do in my home, and I really feel like it helps me out a lot, and it helps to prevent a big build-up of things. So anyway, here we go. Tip number 1 is your mail. So, you know, sometimes you can have piles and piles of mail, and of course that leads to clutter and a lot of dust and forgotten appointments and God knows what else. So my tip for you is I deal with my mail as soon as it comes through the door. So I've got a calendar in my kitchen and I'll open the mail straight away. If it's like junk mail, it gets shredded, put in the bin. If it's like an appointment, what I tend to do is I will write it on my calendar and then I will shred that letter and put it in the bin. It's all done immediately, so if I'm not here, my husband will do the same. Any really important mail, that is locked away in a certain drawer. So of course, I haven't got this huge pile of mail or paperwork, etc. to deal with. So that's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is laundry. So a lot of people say they really have a trouble keeping on top of laundry. They've got mounds of washing and they never seem to get down it. Well, of course, I would know that feeling. I've got 9 children at home at the minute, so there's 11 of us. And apart from the obvious of washing your clothes every day, which we do, you might not have to do that. There might only be a couple of you, but we do have to do that to keep the laundry down. But apart from that obvious, my second tip is go through your clothes on a regular basis, because 9 times out of 10, if I'm going through the kids' clothes or my clothes, it might be the too small. I know mine are, because I've put a lot of weight on, but yeah, you might find they're too small, they might have holes in them, or you just look and think, well, the kids aren't even wearing them, or you're not even wearing certain clothes, and therefore just get rid of them. You know, give them to someone who can benefit from them, because then you are really cutting your laundry down. So that's number 2 tip. Number 3 tip is bedding. So when Bradley was here, we had 11 beds, so 11 lot of bedding. And I had that many spare duvet sets and pillowcases and sheets and God knows what. I was really finding it hard to keep it neat all the time. So tip number 3 is, what I tend to do, because there's so many of us, is I only have 1 bedding set per bed. And what I tend to do is when I have to take it off every week to actually wash them, I'll wash them, dry them and put them straight back on the beds. Obviously that can cause more wear to the bedding, you know, sort of more quickly. And in that case, I'll just then chuck that bedding away and I'll buy a new set. And I prefer to do that. I've got obviously spare mattress covers, spare pillowcases, because sometimes you have to change them a bit more frequently than every week. If the kids would spill something on it or they've got slobber over the pillow, I can change them more often. But what that tends to do is I don't now have to house all that bedding. I don't have to have a cluttered up airing cupboard, and it frees up a lot of space. So tip number 4, I've said this before, always sort through your drawers, your cupboards on a regular basis. I like to do this often because half the time, you know, if I go around the house with a bin bag, you would be amazed what junk and scrap paper and God knows what you find in drawers, cupboards, wardrobes that shouldn't be there. And that always helps just to keep everything, you know, clear. Tip number 5 for me is minimalism. Now, I've spoken to you about this before. Buy what you need, you know. I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't need to buy this picture, or I didn't need to buy the rug over there. But as long as you're going to use it, you know, a lot of people will buy things with the intention to do something with it, but it sort of never makes it out of the packet, or it gets shoved in a drawer. It never ever gets used. So, you know, buy what you like by all means, but as long as you intend to use it. So as long as in your head you've got a purpose for what you're going to do with that item. If it's a picture, as long as it makes it to the wall and it's not just shoved in a corner somewhere, that's absolutely hunky-dory. But minimalism for me really helps. It prevents clutter and dust and a big build-up. And I always say to my customers, do you need it and will you use it? So always bear that in mind. Always have a home for everything. Always use something that you're going to buy and don't sort of buy things for the fun of it. So they're my 5 tips today, guys, for a cleaner home. And I really hope that you can take something from this and that it can make things easier for you. And I really hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you in my next cleaning video, which will be Tuesday. You take care. Bye.